Morning, everyone. I am Ariel Lim, and this is Ariel Lim Yoga. So, you know who I am, you know what you're doing. Thank you for joining me on the mat this morning. Today's practice is going to be a welcome back to yoga morning flow for beginners. So, my previous beginners flow just introduced some of the basics. Today, we're going to build on that just a little bit by introducing sun salutations, which is a great way to greet the day, say hello to the sun, and also bring some good energy into our body to carry with us throughout the rest of our day. So today we're going to start in a child's pose. We'll come back to about halfway center of our mat in a tabletop position to start, bringing our big toes together, our knees as wide as our mat or as wide as is comfortable, and then we'll sink our hips back towards our heels, reaching forward with our hands and lowering our chest and our forehead to the mat here. Taking a nice deep breath. Inhale and exhale. Just to relax in your child's pose. We're grounding ourselves here, finding a nice steady breath, nice deep inhale through the nose and exhale out of the mouth. Maybe roll your forehead side to side on your mat, waking up the forehead. And just take nice deep breaths at your own pace, settling into our practice this morning. Couple more breaths here in your child's pose. And then we'll come up to all fours, a tabletop position. Spread your fingers nice and wide like starfish so we don't put too much weight on our wrists. Our wrists will be underneath our shoulders. Our knees will be underneath our hips. And if you look back between your legs, you should not see your feet. So your legs should be in a nice straight line from your knees here. And then we'll move into some cat-cows to wake up the spine. So on an inhale, you're going to drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your chin, and lift your tailbone up towards the sky or towards the ceiling. Maybe you wag your tail here a little bit, waking up that spine, waking up the body. And on your exhale, we're going to curve the spine. Think like a Halloween cat here for your cat pose. Bringing your belly button up to the spine, pressing the ground away with your hands, with your knees, chin to chest. And on your inhale, you'll drop the belly, lift the chin, the chest, and the tailbone for cow pose. And then exhale into your cat pose, rounding the spine, bringing the chin to the chest, pressing the ground away. Inhale for cow pose. And exhale for cat. One more round. Inhale to drop the belly, lift the tailbone, lift the chest, lift the chin. And exhale to round the spine for your cat pose. And then we'll come back to a neutral spine in our tabletop position. And then we're going to thread the needle. So what we'll do here is we're going to bring our left hand up just a little bit further on the mat. And then bring this right hand underneath, bringing our shoulder and our ear. So our right shoulder and our right ear to the mat. Getting a nice stretch in the shoulders here. Take a nice deep breath. Filling both sides of your torso. And exhale to relax into your stretch. some of us will be heading off to work on computers. Puts a lot of stress in the shoulders, so let's get that tension out to start our day. Inhale. Exhale. And on your next inhale, we'll come back up to our tabletop position. And then we'll reach our right hand forward just a little bit and bring our left arm underneath the right arm, bringing our left shoulder and ear to the mat for thread the needle on the left side. Take a nice deep inhale through the nose. And exhale to relax into your stretch. Should feel really good in that left shoulder. Take a nice deep inhale. And exhale. And on your next inhale, we'll come back up to all fours, tabletop position, bringing our wrists underneath our shoulders. Our knees are underneath our hips once more, keeping your hands spread nice and wide. And then we'll tuck our toes underneath our feet and lift the knees and the hips up and back towards the sky for our downward facing dog. Remembering to keep our biceps by our ears, letting the weight of the head come forward, maybe shaking your head yes, and then no. Maybe taking a moment to walk your dog, so lifting one heel while dropping the other to the mat, and then alternating between your feet. Taking that dog for a walk, pedaling it out, getting a nice stretch in the calves and the hamstrings. Should feel really nice, especially in the morning. Taking nice deep breaths as you pedal it out. And then we'll just take a moment of stillness here, feeling that nice straight line of energy from the base of your spine through the top of your head. And then we'll look up between the hands and take as many steps as you need to get to the top of your mat here. And we'll forward fold, letting the weight of our head hang heavy here. Maybe you clasp opposite elbows, swing side to side. You should feel a nice stretch in the low back. Remembering to breathe. Try not to lock your knees here. You can keep a nice micro bend in the knees. Remembering to keep your weight in all four corners of your feet. So on the big toes, the pinky toes, the heels. And then we'll drop our hands to the mat and slowly rise ourselves up one vertebra at a time, keeping your head low until you come all the way up. And then we'll stand up nice and tall in a mountain posture here. In your mountain posture, you want your feet to be planted firmly on the ground. Have that little micro bend in your knees. Standing up nice and tall, your shoulders will be relaxed down and back. Palms facing forward. Head over your heart here. Top of your head should feel like it's being pulled up slightly, like if string was coming from the top of your head. So you're feeling a nice line of energy through the spine, standing up nice and straight and tall. Inhale here and exhale. On our next inhale, we'll rise our hands up and overhead for a nice big good morning stretch, reaching the fingertips towards the sky. And then we'll grab our right wrist with our left hand and pull that right arm over to the left for a side body stretch. Maybe you look up towards your right hand. You should feel a nice stretch along the side body. Inhale. Exhale, we'll come back to center and switch hands. So we'll grab the left wrist with the right hand and pull that left arm over to the right, maybe gazing up at that left arm, left hand. Inhale. Exhale, feeling that stretch in the side body on the left. You should feel it from your hip all the way through your fingers. Inhale and exhale to come back to center. Reach your hands up one more time and then bring your hands together and your hands down to heart center here. Take a moment here to notice how you feel. Maybe you're already starting to wake up, warm up, feeling good, starting your day on the mat. And now we'll do a couple rounds of modified sun salutations. Sun salutations are a way of honoring the sun, greeting the day. So we're going to inhale and exhale. On our next inhale, we'll raise our arms up and overhead, palms meet, upward salute. And exhale, we'll come down to a forward fold. We'll inhale, halfway lift here, so bringing our hands to our shins, maybe to your thighs, or maybe you have the length in your arms to touch the mat. I don't, so my hands will be on my shins. And we'll have a nice flat back here, a nice straight line from the base of your spine to the top of your head and your halfway lift. Inhale. And exhale to forward fold. We'll plant our hands and we'll step back to a modified plank. So our knees will be on our mat. And then we'll bring our chest and our chin down to the mat. On an inhale, we'll lift up into a cobra pose. So in your cobra, you want your hands to be by your ribs, your elbows tucked in by your ribs. And you'll just lift up your chest and your chin. Inhale. Exhale, we'll move back into our child's pose. So our big toes will touch and we'll sink our hips back towards our heels, reaching our arms forward, bringing our chest to the mat and our forehead to the mat. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come back up to a tabletop position. Tuck your toes and lift your hips back up to the sky for downward facing dog. Take your dog for a walk, pedaling out your feet, waking up the legs. You should start feeling some heat building in your body. This is a good thing. We want that heat. We want that good energy. Getting rid of the stale energy from the night before. And then we'll take a moment of stillness. Nice deep breath. And exhale. Looking between our hands, and then we'll step to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for a halfway lift. Nice flat back here. And exhale to fold. On an inhale, we'll slowly come up one vertebra at a time. Enjoy this move. It should feel really good in the spine. Reaching up and overhead, the palms meet. And come back down to heart center. Inhale. Exhale. On our next inhale, we'll rise our hands up and overhead. The palms meet in prayer. And then we'll come down for a forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. We'll step back to that modified plank again, bringing our knees to the mat. our chest and our chin and come up for a cobra pose. Elbows by the ribs, chest forward, top of our legs, top of our feet flat on the mat. Inhale and exhale. We'll bring our big toes to touch, our knees as wide as our mat, and our hips will sink back towards our heels, reaching forward, bringing our chest and our forehead to the mat. Remembering to breathe, always remembering to breathe. If you can breathe, that means you're alive, and being alive is the greatest gift any of us are given. So always, always take advantage of the breath. We'll come back up to a tabletop position. Tuck our toes and lift up and back for downward facing dog. One last time today. Pedaling it out. Getting that stretch in our legs. Some of us will be sitting down at work. This is a good way to wake up and get a stretch in before we do that. Exhale, look between the hands and take as many steps as you need to the top of the mat. We'll inhale for a halfway lift, flat back. Exhale to fold. On your next inhale, we'll slowly come up to a standing position, letting your head hang heavy until we get all the way back up. We'll lift our arms up and overhead, reaching through the fingertips one last time, getting that nice good morning stretch. And then we'll bring our hands together and back to heart center. Close your eyes for a moment here. Taking a moment to scan your body. Notice your energy. Notice how you feel. Hopefully you're feeling good and you're ready to take on today. Nice big inhale through the nose. Exhale out the mouth. Gently open your eyes. Thank you so much for joining me on the mat this morning. I hope you're feeling ready to take on today. I hope you enjoyed your sun salutations. And if you enjoyed these beginner flows, please let me know with a like or a comment and we can do some more. And as always, from my heart to yours,